Hi everyone, welcome to Capital Chat with Representative Will Morgan. I'm Charlene Briner and we are here with Representative Will Morgan. Thanks so much for dropping by.
Hi Charlene, thanks for having me in.
We appreciate your time and we are taping this show at the end of the 2010 legislative session. I want to talk to your representative about some of the big issues you had to tackle coming in, not the least of which was balancing a budget deficit and focusing on jobs here in Minnesota.
Absolutely, Charlene. Those were the two big issues that I heard from my constituents back home. Focus on jobs, focus on improving the economy, and focus on balancing the budget. And I think in the end we successfully did all of that in a very bipartisan way. We started out the session very strong. We passed, in the first 2 months, we passed two very strong jobs bills. The first was our Building a Better Minnesota bonding bill. This bill, it's something we do every even-numbered year. It makes targeted investments in state and public assets, particularly clean water infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, state college and university buildings and programs, and it helps make sure that our economy can continue to grow with the resources we need, whether it's the clean water or whether it's the transportation to move goods around, or our higher ed institutions that are really producing the future of the economy in the state. So that was a very important bill, and that's going to be creating many, many jobs, not only for the construction workers who are improving those assets and rehabbing those assets, but also in those assets have the ability to create going into the future. So that was very important. We passed a second jobs bill, a tax reform bill that provided targeted tax credits. We had an angel investor credit. We expanded the research and development credit to small businesses to help them grow jobs faster in this very important part of our economy. And also we had 7 important bills from the Small Business Caucus targeted towards small businesses to streamline the way they work, reduce mandates, and really help small businesses do the heavy lifting that they have to do in this economy to get jobs going again. So we heard some great news from the Department of Economic Development just today that more than 10,000 jobs, new jobs, were created in April. So that's a great sign that the economy is starting to turn around, and hopefully we'll see more of that as we head through the summer, and these jobs bills will really start to get rolling.
Well, and I think it's an interesting indicator that while there are limited things that government can do, certainly if you focus your efforts and focus your attention, it really does pay those dividends.
Exactly. We did 2 more local projects that I'd like to talk about, Charlene. One, we had a Goodrich Aerospace came to the state and asked for a sales tax exemption to expand their facilities. They're hoping that in the next 5 to 6 years, they can create 400 or 500 more high-paying, high-tech jobs in Burnsville. So we were able to get that passed, and hopefully the governor will sign that tax bill soon. We also had some new bonding money for state interchange projects, and of course in Burnsville, the Highway 5, County Road 5 and Highway 13 interchange revamp is going to be a very important part of moving our businesses and economic growth into the future. So.
Well, we're going to keep watching those projects as well, Representative. I want to, in the couple of minutes left in this segment, I want to talk to you a little bit about, you really focused on jobs, but you also had to tackle the budget. That story was coming in, you had about $1 billion to work with. It changed in the final weeks of the session. Tell us about that.
Very close to the end of the last 2 weeks with the Supreme Court decision on the allotments, we all of a sudden had a much bigger job before us. But fortunately, we had done our homework, we had prepared, we had laid the foundation, we had cut about $320 million very early on by March, and so we had the foundation laid for what we had to do at the end there. There was a lot of partisan rancor. Of course, there always is at the end of session when you have tough work to do. But all that aside, in the end, we made the tough choices. We passed a bipartisan, balanced budget bill at the end that protected nursing homes, that protected K-12 education, and very importantly, it opened up access to our state to $1.4 billion in federal money that our taxpayers are sending to the federal government. Our balanced budget proposal gives us access to get $1.4 billion of that tax money back to help hospitals. In my community, the hospital, Fairview Ridges, is the largest private employer. If we can get that $1.4 billion into Minnesota, coming back to Minnesota, it's going to mean preserving jobs in our community and all around the state.
So looking at the session in total, would you say that it was a productive session? You accomplished what you came here to do?
We certainly accomplished what we came here to do. Like I said, at the end, you always get a lot of partisan rancor. We're certainly seeing it here fly from both sides at the end. I feel good about the work that we've done, and I feel good about the work that I've done for my constituents back in Burnsville.
Representative, thanks for chatting with us about this. I want to talk to you a little bit more about education in another segment. Thanks for watching Capitol Chat. I'm Charlene Briner with Representative Will Morgan. We'll be back with you in a few minutes.
Thanks, Charlene.